Hi, I've put this tutorial together to help you out. I've noticed a few students struggling with some of the issues with their assignments. I've put this one together just for you. And this week we're going to be looking at, I suppose, transferring all the information that we need onto a new document. We're going to be looking at selecting layers and colouring. We're going to be looking at sort of the spine tool to actually map through all the different wetland area that we need to work on, and we're going to be looking at viewports and also doing a 3D viewport. Got this file from online. You should still have access to that. It allows you to work out or calculate out the whole catchment area, but there's a lot of information in this job that we don't need. As you can see, we've got all these different layers which we don't need in this job, so we're going to delete them. Now I'm going to show you a couple of things. Some of these layers won't be able to be deleted because there's some def points and some other information that the program won't let us delete. So what we're going to do is basically take only the layers that we require in this new job. Now, to go through some of these, we need to find out which ones we need and which ones we don't. I know these door ones we don't need. These ones also can't be deleted, I think. So again, we're stuck. So first of all, I've just turned off the layers that we don't need. You can see here we've got some. I'll just turn off this contour layer. You can see here that you can see there's some layer information there, which is basically some points that we don't need in this. There's our layer which we do need, and again, these are points within inside the map, but we actually don't need this information. You can see little tiny dots down the bottom here. This is information that was made, put in to make up the contours. So we basically need to switch off all the layers that we don't need. Got the river lakes there. And our rivers, which we do need. I have left on one of these things, which I think is that one. We've got our roadways, we've got our watershed area, everything that we need. The only thing I need to turn on is this particular layer here. Now that we've got all those switched on, we can now actually select these and we can copy them into a new document. But before I do that, I need to prepare the document that it's going to be copied into. So again, new. When we go into this new document, we're going to be opening one of our templates up. The one we are going to be looking at is this ISO A3 Classic. All you need to do is basically open that one up, continue, that looks better, wait for it to sort of render and do all its things, and then, we're just going to zoom out of this, and I'm going to just remove a couple of things that we don't need in this document. That's these bits of information here. There are a couple of extra viewports here which I am going to remove this time, and this is all sort of put into one particular block. I'm going to leave it like that for this exercise. My advice is if this was a job, you'd need to explode it using the explode tool here and then change the information. But for this exercise, I'm not going to worry about that because we've done that previously. Okay, escape. And there's one more thing there which we need to delete. And now go into our model space. Now when we look at our layers, there's only two layers here. One is our layer 0, that's on every document. We've got an arrow, adjacent arrow. Now that one always appears on this particular template. Okay, we've got our document there. All we need to set up now is some basic coordinate information and some of the units. Now I'm going to click on my units here. First thing I'm going to change is my position. I like to turn it to 2 points. Our units to scale of inserted content. Just be aware that's only content coming in is in meters. Click OK. And the last thing I'm going to be changing here is the document setup information. So drawing settings. Thing we need to be aware of is meters, scale 1 to 1000, which is 1 millimeter equals 1000 millimeters or 1 meter. Degrees, you can change that, but I keep it at degrees. Custom scale of 1000. We need to change this to Australia. And as you know from our previous project, we need to change it to map 55. And we're going to use this 5584 grid. Click apply. Click OK. Now that document is set up ready to go. All we need to do now is go back into our previous document here. We need to select all of the data we need to copy across. Looks like it. Clipboard, copy, switch into our other document, which is drawing number 3. We haven't named it yet. We're in our model space. Right hand click, clipboard, paste to original coordinates. Okay, as you notice, there's nothing on screen. It actually has pasted the information to the original coordinates, but it's way off over the other side of the world. So what we're going to do now is when it finishes pasting, setting up this drawing, came up, zoom extend, and it shows us where our document is. And if you want to check out, just run the waypoints around, you can see that the coordinates are the ones that we've done in the previous exercises. Now, the thing you will notice with this one is that it's only got the layers that we stripped down for it. Okay, we've got the contour layers, we've got the hydro, which is the watercourse, we've got the ponds on the lakes, we've got our contours, we've got our roads, and that's it. That's all we actually need for this assignment. Now this one here is our watershed area. I'm actually going to start numbering this because I do want it to appear at the top of the job. Okay, and all I'm going to do is add some new layers at this point in time because we're already here. The new layers that we are going to add are notes layer, water layer, and viewport layers, because we will need those later on in this exercise. So add new. Again, because we'd already clicked on the watershed layer, it's going to come up under our default. So this one's going to be 2, and this one's going to be, what is it, water. The other one's the watershed area, and return new layer. Again, copies the existing information, and this one's going to be 3. This one's going to be notes dot. Okay, and number 4. And this one's going to be our viewport. Now remember, we put this viewport layer in because later on we do want to lock this, and we can actually hide it and switch it off using this particular, or switch off the actual outline of it so we don't get anything there, but at the moment we're going to keep it as is. Now water, let's choose a colour. I'm going to choose this one for our water. For our notes, what can we use for notes? Let's do this deep green. It's okay. And for our viewport, I'm going to do that one as a dark purple, bluey purple thingy. Doesn't really matter, I'm only just assigning it so I know which layers I'm going to be putting it on. Now that that's set up, we just need to turn off this watershed area, and the last thing I'm going to do is save it. And this one is our save project. This one is our, what are we going to call this one? In fact, wetland. Park wetland. That's all I'm going to keep for this point in time. I'm going to be putting this on my desktop because we're going to access it from there. You can put it wherever you want, and my suggestion is to file it correctly, but for this exercise it's just going to stay on my desktop. There it is there. Again, notice up here it has changed its name, which is good. The other thing you will notice is if you've set up your coordinates correctly, you'll end up with this little white thing in the center. It's basically telling us that our world coordinates have been set, and later on you'll notice that whenever you set the world coordinates. Now, what we're going to do next is look at selecting a layer, colorizing. We're looking at using the spline tool and basically putting in the wetland area and setting that up in our next session.